to make sure you know about all of them. Hopefully you've been listening to the HSP podcast. We just did a beautiful episode just now about authenticity and really living life as yourself in the world, showing up imperfect and messy, and that's okay. And I got my t-shirt on, Authenticity is Beautiful, today to kind of acknowledge that. Wanted to let you guys know about some free masterclasses that I have coming up. Hello, Eddie. Thanks for joining. We've got a masterclass about sensitivity and anxiety, and a masterclass about helping HSPs in business reach financial freedom. And hopefully you've seen the HSP blog, the HSP podcast, and I also recommend that you download the letter about high sensitivity to give to your doctor, your therapist, any practitioners in the medical mental health field that are working with you. It's important for them to have this information. That's a free letter you can get and download on my website. If anybody's here live that wants to ask questions or anything about the trait or some of the resources that I have, and if you're new to learning about me, I'm Julie Bjelland, and I'm a psychotherapist that specializes in the trait of high sensitivity, and I'm the founder of the Sensitive Empowerment Community, which is a really awesome place to be if you're an HSP and you want to have a sense of community that's not on social media. We do live events. That's where we record a lot of the HSP podcast episodes so that members can be a part of the episode and share questions and feedback and comments and stuff, which is really fun to do. And, I just want to let everybody know that, if you are struggling with anxiety or high stress, which is actually pretty common in this population of people with sensitivity, I used to, much of it has to do with an overloaded sensitive nervous system. And you can do something about that naturally. And I'm very much into brain training techniques, things that you can do to calm and activate your brain, the calming centers of your brain. And these are something I'm going to teach in my sensitivity and anxiety masterclass that's coming up on April 1st. There's going to be replays available if you're not able to join, but you have to register to get the replay, and everything will be sent into your email, reminders and things like that. So I hope you guys are taking good care of yourself as sensitive people in the world. You're very valuable. We actually have, I was interviewed recently on a podcast, somebody else's podcast, and we talked about the value of sensitive people in the workplace. And I am super excited for that to come out because I think it was really valuable. There was 2 people that were interviewing me, and one of them was not an HSP. And he was talking about how his HSP colleague brought so much to him, so many gifts to him, that she could recognize things that he was missing. This is part of the trait. You have so many gifts inside of you. You just have to learn how to center your nervous system. And we cannot live like the 80 to 85% are living. We have to do things that are right for us. We have to have the downtime. Remember, if you think of the nervous system as being a container, an HSP might have hundreds of stuff dumped into that container, and a non-HSP, somebody without this trait of high sensitivity, might just have a few cups. And this is why we are often overloaded and overwhelmed and stressed and anxious. But oftentimes, what we think is anxiety, and maybe you're even getting treated for anxiety, is not actually anxiety, because I've seen HSPs get better within a week or 2 of trying some of these brain training techniques, which really tells me it's more of an overloaded nervous system. And really changing some of the ways that we label ourselves. So many of us have received the message that there's something wrong with us. And we've got to change these messages. This is why it's so important for us to spend time with other highly sensitive people, which is why I created my Sensitive Empowerment Community. It's so normalizing and validating when you spend time with people who are also sensitive, who experience the world like you do, and to change some of these messaging. I had that same messaging for so many years of my life, that there was something wrong with this trait, and it just cocooned me into depression and anxiety, and because I was interpreting that there was something wrong with me. And I want to change that message. We have to create a paradigm shift, have this grassroots movement together. So what I ask of you in return is, if you're listening to an HSP podcast episode, or you're reading an article on the HSP blog, for example, and it's been valuable to you, share it with other HSPs. We need to do this together as a grassroots movement, that we create this paradigm shift, that sensitivity is valuable and needed, and we need to honor it. And that includes honoring ourselves. So one of the most popular HSP podcast episodes is about protecting your energy. And another popular one is about boundaries and having healthy friendships and things like that, because a lot of times HSPs are quite overgivers and can lead to an imbalance in relationships without boundaries. It's hard for us to set boundaries a lot of times. And all of these things are important. So I would definitely recommend checking out all these episodes on the HSP podcast. I've been hearing from you that they're quite life-changing, and I understand that because I went through these changes too. Hi, you're here. Hello. Ohana, actually, I was just talking about the episode that we did with you that I just cannot wait to release this episode with you and Ray, talking about how valuable this trait is and the way that Ray talked about you and your value to the company, your value to him as a colleague. It's so powerful that I'm excited to share this episode with you guys. Does anybody have any questions they want me to? Hi, Olivia. So nice to see you guys here. Maury, so many people. Awesome. If anybody has any particular questions about high sensitivity or some of the resources that I offer, go ahead and ask that while I'm live. And happy to help you find that. If you're looking for particular resources, my website is completely dedicated to. In fact, if you click on free resources, you're going to see a whole list of things that are free, available to HSPs to really support you in your life. It is my mission to help you live your best life and to reduce these challenges and change these labels so that you start to honor who you are in the world. So I definitely recommend checking that out. You can find everything at juliebjelland.com, sensitiveconnection.com. And I invite you to join my sensitive empowerment community. I'm there every day. It's my favorite place to be. It's not on social media. It's a private platform, and that's intentional because we have really deep, beautiful conversations. We're a bunch of HSPs together that really want to get empowered, and it's just a very special place. And I've recently started an HSPs in Business group too. So if you're a therapist or a healer or coach and you want some support, that's a free group. It's currently free in my sensitive empowerment community because I really want to help HSP healers have financial freedom and not be struggling financially. Hannah, I was just reading, you almost screamed when you heard you mentioning us. Yeah, I can't wait to release that too. I'm excited about that conversation. I feel like it's going to change lives. It's just amazing to talk about this trait in a different way, that we really see the value and we see how important this is. You are so needed in the world. And I'm going to keep telling you that over and over again. If you don't believe it, come check out my website and read all the positives and all the gifts of this trait. Honestly, all you have to do is change the labels and understand that you do have to take care of yourself in a certain way because of your sensitive nervous system. And if you do that and you really work on self-compassion and self-acceptance for who you are in the world, and you normalize and validate your experiences, your life really changes so remarkably. It's kind of amazing, really amazing. And that's what I've seen helps HSPs the most. You know, you have to be around people who support you. You have to set boundaries. It's a healthy thing to set boundaries, to do what's right for you, to learn about what your needs are, to listen to your intuition. Definitely check out all those podcast episodes and the HSP blog too. It's like filled with stuff. You're going to be surprised how much is there if you haven't explored it yet. So I just wanted to check in with you guys. I'm about to upload a new episode onto the HSP podcast. And then we've got a live event Thursday. I'm actually inviting anybody who wants to join. We're doing a live event Thursday to talk about nutrition with Anastasia, who's a certified nutritionist, about how nutrition can help with anxiety and depression. And she's got a lot of really great information about that. So we decided to open that up to everybody. You can either watch it through Zoom, and I have a link on the HSP blog. So if you go to hspblog.com, you can actually find the link to it. Or we're doing it live in Instagram also, so that everybody can be with us for this one. Olivia says, how to express all the good I have within me without freezing in fear, because I know it can help others. Oh, I hope you know about our HSPs in Business group, because we really like to empower HSPs in business. That the main thing about that is you want to really spend more time in internal focus. We tend to be externally focused. Are they going to like me? Am I doing the right thing? What do they think? Notice how that's all external. We want to bring in an internal focus and go into a place whenever you're sharing anything that is, what is important to me? Why am I sharing this message? Why do I think I can help this person? Because when you're coming from that intention, the fear starts to go away. So catch it if it's out there, externally focused, and bring it back in. That really helps. And it does take some practice. I had to practice doing that myself, but it always takes away the fear if we're focused on our intention, on what's important to us. Ohana says, I will never get tired of hearing this encouragement, this empowerment, and this amazing. Grateful for you and the healing you bring into this world. Oh, thank you, Ohana. That's so beautiful. How fun for you to be here. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And please take care of yourself in the sensitive HSP way. If you don't know what that is, just check out my website, juliebielen.com, sensitiveconnection.com. You're going to see a lot of resources there for you. Hopefully you'll join the free masterclasses that I have, as well as our live event this Thursday. We're also doing two events actually Thursday in our sensitive empowerment community. Another one is a live music event where some singer-songwriters from the community are going to perform live for us. So I'm excited about that too. And I'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody. Bye.